Welcome to our whimsical world where complaints take a delightful twist. Today, we're diving into a hilariously entertaining story about a woman named Karen and her rather unique grievance with a set of wind chimes. Now, we all know that Karens can be quite vocal about their opinions, but this tale takes a turn that you won't see coming. Imagine a serene neighborhood where the gentle tinkling of wind chimes fills the air, creating a peaceful ambience. But for Karen, that soothing sound quickly transforms into an unbearable cacophony. In this video, we'll explore the humorous conflict that arises when Karen decides to take matters into her own hands. Armed with a complaint that could rival any epic saga, she sets out on a mission to silence those pesky chimes. But here's where the story gets interesting. Instead of a typical confrontation, the neighborhood responds in a playful and creative manner, turning Karen's complaint into a musical wonderland. As we unfold this delightful narrative, you'll see how the community bands together, using their creativity to transform the situation into something truly magical. Picture this. Instead of removing the wind chimes, they decide to add more. Each neighbor contributes their own chimes, bells, and even quirky instruments, creating a symphony that dances in the breeze. This video promises to be a light-hearted exploration of how a simple complaint can spark joy and creativity. So sit back, relax, and prepare to be entertained as we take you on a journey from complaint to celebration. You won't want to miss the whimsical twist that turns Karen's frustration into a community masterpiece. The complaint. Meet Karen, the quintessential neighbor who believes that her opinion is the law of the land. With a penchant for order and a strong dislike for anything that disrupts her carefully curated peace, Karen is the type of person who would complain about a butterfly flapping its wings if it dared to disturb her tranquility. So, when she encounters a set of wind chimes that jingle merrily in the breeze, it's no surprise that she's ready to take action. Karen's complaint is as colorful as her personality. She describes the wind chimes as an incessant clanging that sounds like a herd of cats fighting over a can of tuna. Her dramatic flair shines through as she insists that the chimes are not just annoying but are, in fact, ruining her life. "How can I enjoy my afternoon tea when I'm serenaded by this cacophony?" she exclaims, her eyes wide with exasperation. It's hard not to chuckle at her over-the-top reactions, which only serve to highlight her larger-than-life character. As she rallies her fellow neighbors to her cause, Karen's complaints become increasingly humorous. She suggests that the wind chimes are a public nuisance, and even goes so far as to claim they're a violation of her personal space. The more she talks, the more absurd her arguments become, and viewers can't help but laugh at her earnestness. But here's where the story takes a delightful turn. Instead of simply silencing the chimes, the community decides to embrace the chaos. Inspired by Karen's passionate complaints, they plot a creative revenge that transforms her annoyance into a neighborhood spectacle. Get ready for a whimsical twist that turns Karen's complaint into a vibrant celebration of sound and community spirit. Creative revenge. As the neighborhood buzzes with excitement over Karen's complaints, the residents hatch a delightfully whimsical plan to transform her yard into a musical wonderland. Instead of simply silencing the wind chimes, they decide to embrace the chaos and turn it into a vibrant celebration of sound. The stage is set for a playful revenge that promises to be both entertaining and heartwarming. First on the agenda is a grand installation of wind chimes, but not just any ordinary chimes. The neighbors gather an eclectic mix of chimes made from everything imaginable: old spoons, colorful glass bottles, and even repurposed musical instruments. Imagine a xylophone made from painted PVC pipes, each one tuned to a different note, creating a symphony of sound that dances in the breeze. The goal? To create a cacophony so delightful that it transforms Karen's annoyance into sheer joy. Next, they plan to add whimsical decorations throughout her yard. Picture vibrant banners fluttering in the wind, adorned with musical notes and cheerful messages like, "Let the music play," and "Chime in for fun." They even consider setting up a mini stage for impromptu neighborhood concerts, inviting local musicians to join in the fun. The idea is to turn Karen's yard into a hub of creativity and laughter, where every sound is a celebration rather than a nuisance. As the plan unfolds, the anticipation builds. How will Karen react when she steps outside to find her yard transformed into a musical playground? Will she embrace the joy of the moment, or will her inner critic take over? The playful nature of this revenge keeps viewers on the edge of their seats, eager to see if Karen can find the humor in her own complaint. Get ready for a delightful showdown between Karen's expectations and the unexpected joy that awaits her. Execution of the plan. With the plan in place, the neighborhood springs into action, ready to transform Karen's yard into a whimsical musical wonderland. The excitement is palpable as residents gather their supplies, armed with creativity and a sense of humor. First step is to collect materials for the wind chimes. Neighbors raid their kitchens, garages, and attics, bringing everything from old pots and pans to colorful glass bottles. The sight of a group of adults rummaging through their belongings, giggling over the oddities they find, sets the tone for a light-hearted adventure. As they begin to assemble the chimes, hilarity ensues. One neighbor, attempting to hang a particularly large pot, accidentally sends it crashing to the ground, creating a loud clang that echoes through the neighborhood. "Well, that's one way to make music," someone quips, and laughter erupts. They quickly learn that balancing the chimes is an art form in itself, with several comical attempts resulting in tangled strings and mismatched sounds. Next, they tackle the colorful banners. Armed with paint and fabric, the neighbors gather to create cheerful decorations. One resident, known for her questionable artistic skills, paints a musical note that looks more like a squashed bug than a symbol of harmony. "It's abstract," she insists, and everyone chuckles, appreciating the charm of their collective effort. As the sun sets, the yard begins to take shape. The sound of tinkling chimes fills the air, accompanied by the laughter of neighbors working together. They set up the mini stage, complete with fairy lights and a sign that reads, "Welcome to Karen's Musical Wonderland." With the final touches in place, the anticipation builds. The whimsical visuals and sounds create an enchanting atmosphere, leaving viewers eager to see Karen's reaction. Will she embrace the joy of her transformed yard, or will she find a way to complain about the delightful chaos? The stage is set for a memorable reveal. Karen's reaction. As the sun rises on the day of the big reveal, the neighborhood holds its breath in anticipation. Karen, blissfully unaware of the transformation that awaits her, steps outside with her morning coffee, ready to enjoy her usual peaceful routine. But as she turns the corner and catches sight of her yard, her jaw drops in disbelief. "What in the world is this?" she exclaims, her eyes wide as she takes in the sight of her once quiet space now bursting with color and sound. The wind chimes, now a cacophony of pots, pans, and whimsical decorations, create a symphony that dances in the breeze. The vibrant banners flutter cheerfully, proclaiming messages of joy and creativity. For a moment, Karen stands frozen, a mix of shock and confusion etched on her face. As the reality of the situation sinks in, her initial shock quickly morphs into a series of humorous reactions. "Is this some kind of joke?" she mutters, her brows furrowing as she steps closer to inspect the bizarre installations. She pokes at a particularly large wind chime made from an old bicycle wheel, and it emits a sound that makes her jump back. "I didn't sign up for a musical circus," she huffs, but there's a hint of a smile creeping onto her lips. As the neighbors gather around, eager to see how she'll respond, Karen can't help but notice the laughter and joy radiating from her community. The playful spirit of the transformation begins to chip away at her annoyance. "Well, I suppose it's creative," she concedes, her tone begrudgingly appreciative. The viewers are left wondering, has Karen finally found a way to embrace the whimsy of her new musical wonderland? Or will her inner critic resurface? Either way, her reaction is a delightful blend of disbelief and reluctant acceptance, making for a memorable moment in this whimsical saga. What a journey we've had today! We started with the humorous conflict between Karen and her neighborhood's beloved wind chimes, where her complaints turned into a comical saga that had us all chuckling. Karen, with her larger-than-life personality, took her grievances to new heights, insisting that the cheerful sounds were nothing short of a public nuisance. But instead of simply silencing the chimes, the community decided to embrace the chaos and transform her yard into a vibrant musical wonderland. Through creativity and collaboration, the neighbors turned Karen's complaint into a delightful spectacle filled with whimsical decorations and an array of charming wind chimes. The laughter, the mishaps, and the unexpected joy that emerged from this playful revenge remind us that sometimes a little creativity can turn a frustrating situation into a memorable experience. Key takeaway here is that humor and creativity can be powerful tools in handling complaints. Instead of letting annoyance fester, why not find a way to celebrate the quirks of life? Whether it's through art, music, or community spirit, there's always a way to turn a negative into a positive. If you enjoyed this whimsical tale and want to see more lighthearted content like this, don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Hit that like button and share this video with your friends to spread the joy. We love bringing you stories that inspire laughter and creativity, and your support helps us keep the fun going. Thank you for joining us on this delightful adventure, and remember, the next time you face a complaint, think outside the box and maybe, just maybe, you'll create your own musical wonderland. Until next time, keep smiling and stay whimsical.